Bum, bum, bum. Na-na-na-na. Hey everybody, this is your girl Creole Butterfly Libra Butterfly got the 909 coming to you from the great state of Kentucky, where the women are beautiful and the horses are fast, or the horses are beautiful and the women are fast. It just depends on what you like. I want to say happy mitzvah, happy quinceañera, happy birthday, happy anniversary to Lottie Dottie and every darn body who's celebrating something on today, which is June the 30th. Y'all, the last day of June, okay? Oh Lord! So you know I'm the Oprah of the smooches. So you get a smooch, you get a smooch, you get a smooch. Everybody gets a darn blasted smooch. Apply when necessary. Hey Kendra, big, what's going on, Miss Kendra? All right, y'all. So let me get into this. I have to say, women beware. Okay. Something happened to me yesterday, and I knew yesterday I was going to share it. So since everything went the way I thought it was going to go today, that's why I'm on here, and I won't be on here long, but that's why I'm on here. Okay. So, yesterday I was leaving, pulling out of my driveway, and I saw this car coming down my street. Like had just turned, but it was coming down my street. It was like a Camaro and was red with a black stripe on the side, right? It was one of those fast cars, very fast cars. So I paused in my driveway. I was half backed out, but I was pausing to let this car go past. So the car went past me. I went on and pulled out, went down to the end of my block and turned on the main highway, it's actually a highway that's at the end of my street, right? So, I'm very looking cute. Okay, pause, sidebar, let me tell you. So it was this dress I have not been able to fit, right? I even tried the dress on 2 weeks ago. Couldn't fit it, okay? 2 weeks ago to this day, actually, couldn't fit it. I'm like, it fit me like a shirt instead of a dress, right? So anyway, when I was looking at my drawer yesterday for something cute to put on, I just wanted to be just extra cute. Going nowhere but cute, right? So I see this dress again. I'm like, you know what? Let me go ahead and put this dress on. So I put the dress on, and when I tell y'all it fit me, not like a shirt, but it fit me like a dress, but it fit me like all my curves was like kapow, kapow, kapow. So, and it was orange and gold and with a little bit of this type of green in it, and I had on my little sandals and, just cutified, just cutified. So I was, had the car saw me walk into my car, I could understand the following things that happened, why it happened. But because I was already sitting, I had my shades on, I'm already sitting in the car waiting on this car to pass. So okay, let's go back to where I was. Pick up. So I'm at the corner. I turns on the main highway. I'm, driving down the street, bopping to my little music and stuff and, everything. So I see this car, the car that turned on my street. I see this car behind me. So I'm still driving, blah, 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 blah. I goes in another lane. I look in my mirror. This car goes in the same lane. So I goes to the furthest lane. Okay, it's 3 lanes. I go to the furthest lane. I look in my rearview mirror. This car, furthest lane. So I'm driving. Bum bum. He can't see my eyes because I got on my glasses and they're very dark, right? But I'm watching him, right? Everything I do, I'm watching him. So finally, I can get all the way back over in the first lane I was in, which is the left lane, without having to whatever, right? So I get all the way back over in the first lane I was in, which is the left lane. And I get in front of this truck. And so he can't get in front of this truck because his truck is too close. He would have had an accident. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe it was just me and my thinking. Maybe it's just, I'm thinking this way. So I'm in front of the truck and I'm just, bopping and stuff. Some of that pretty, how we do, bopping. Y'all, I look up. This car is behind me. So I'm like, okay, this is getting real. So I'm driving a little bit more. So I said, I'm going to try one more time. Okay. Now there's space in this middle lane where if he really needed to get over, he could have got over. Okay. And not, So I'm like, well, let me just get over. So I get sober in this lane, the middle lane. Next thing I know, here comes this same car driving right behind me, gets over in the middle lane where I'm at. I said, this car is really following me. Now, mind you, I told you I waited for this car to pass me while I was in my driveway. And I seen him when I pulled out the driveway to go down to the major road. I seen him turn around at the end of my block. And he was coming up. But I didn't pay no attention to it because he can come up this way too. Maybe, But every lane I went in, this car followed me. Every lane. Like I said, even when I dodged in front of that truck, when I looked back up in my rearview mirror, he put his signal on to get in front of the truck to get behind me. So I got in the middle lane. He got behind me again in the middle lane. So every lane I'm in, okay, he's following me. All right. I'm not scared, but I'm very much aware that this car with these black tinted windows is super kick-in Camry. I think that's the type of car it was, but it was so you can tell it was a 2024, okay? And I can describe it to a T that this car is following me. So I calls my oldest son because I know he's out. He's gone and get my spring water I drink. I got him hooked on this, so he keeps me in spring water now. And where I'm headed at is I'm coming up on where he is getting this water. So I calls him, and he always say, Fat Ninja, put the other word. And I'm like, hey, you still at Big Lots? He's like, nah, Mom, I just actually pulled up at the house. He said, what's wrong? I can tell something's wrong. I said, this car is still following me, and he's been following me since the house. He said, what car? And so I told him, he said, come back home. He said, plus I left my gun here anyway. He said, come on back home because if he follow you here, I got something for him. He said, I hate to leave and I miss you. So just turn around or wherever you get to, turn around and just come back home. I said, okay. He said, you want to stay on the phone with me? I said, no, I'm good. I'm good like it. So me being the type of driver I am, and me hearing my husband in one ear, God rest his soul, me hearing my daddy in another ear, God rest his soul, both of these men who like train me, right? So I'm like, I'm driving, I'm still bopping. Whoever this is following me has no idea I done clocked him, right? So it's this one turn. If you miss this turn, you messed up. And I know that this turn is coming up. So I'm already knowing what I'm going to do in my mind. Have the real K-Fit smooches. I already know what I'm going to do in my mind, right? So I'm still in this middle lane. So all of a sudden, we coming up on this light. right? And I'm still bopping. Boom, 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 boom. Next thing, I hurried up and said, shoo, in that left lane. Okay. And then went in the other lane to turn. Because the left lane splits off to a turning lane. So I went to the left lane, then the other turning lane. And he had to go straight through that light because if he tried to do that, it would have caused a pile up. Okay. And so I turns and I'm driving on now, like just really throwing off, driving real slow to see if he done came around, if he's still clocking me and all this and stuff, right? So I see that, he really lost me. He don't know where I'm at. So I'm going to pick up my food and everything. And I'm like, well, let me ride past this house that I'm trying to buy. That's why I shared with y'all in this short. If y'all haven't seen my short, go look at it, please. Give me a click in the view. Anyway, so then I finally, went and got my food and everything. And I called my son and I said, gone back in the house because I lost them. And I'll tell you how when I get home. I said, I'm picking up some food. I'm going to share with you, and everything, but I'm good. He said, Mom, are you sure? I said, yeah, I'm good. He said, all right. He said, I want you to describe that car to me. I said, okay. So I told him I'd do it to you when, give it to you when I get home and everything. He said, yes, ma'am. So I hung up. Called my baby boy because he had texted me and I said, hey, baby, what's going on? He said, what's up with you? Just call and check on you. I said, well, I talked to you since I have been followed. He said, wait a minute, huh? He said, you got your gun with you. Do you have your gun with you, mama? Sounding out like my husband. I said, when I said, he said, mama, what I tell you? He said, this is not the day and time you ride with nothing with you. I said, well, I got some. He said, you know what I'm talking about. He said, mama, from this day forward, when you riding by yourself, take your gun. He said, I'm not playing about my mama. He said, it just pissed me off. He said, I was all happy and stuff. He said, don't piss me off. And I mean, that's the one that really don't play about me. I'm serious. He's like, man. So he gets quiet. I said, there's nothing you can do. You can't meet me nowhere. As long as I'm good, you good. I said, I'm good, baby. I'm good. He said, yeah, mama, but they don't set right with me. He said, then that don't set right with me. He said, but okay. All right. I said, yeah, I'll call you when I get home. He said, yes, ma'am. Okay. So I hung up. I'm like, oh my God. Why? Tell him. Because that's, like I said, that's going to be on his mind. Even when I get him in tomorrow for him to go to work, that's going to be, he going to bring this conversation up again. First thing he going to say, hi, mama. How you doing? Where you going? I already know my son. So I'm going to have it in the car because I don't want to have to answer to him. He's like my junior husband. Like, he reminds me of his daddy so much, Girl, I'm learning this. See, because I'm a fighter. Like, I can fight. And I know martial arts. So I really am, but I'm gonna have to start taking it because, like I said, I was pulling out of my driveway and waiting for this car to go past. Because I saw it when it turned on my street. I was waiting for it to go past. And then as I pulled out to go on the major highway, to get on the major highway right here by my house, I saw the car in my rearview mirror turning around. So I thought, well, maybe he's lost. But he followed me almost to my destination. Every lane I got in, he was right behind me. When I got in another lane, he was another. I mean, so it was awakening, it was an awakening. So I just want, Black women are the most women that are abducted every day. Every day. It's with so many of us that never go home again because we are on the list of what men want, and some of us are on the list of having our organs taken. I've talked to you all about organ harvesting. I've talked to you all, about everything. Like, we are a commodity. Most of us women, we don't see ourselves as that, but we are very much a commodity. And so when that happened to me yesterday, I was like, I got to tell my people. I got to tell my butterflies. I got to tell the men if you got a wife or a fiance, please make sure you talk to them about what to do, how not to panic, to still look like you ain't paying attention when you really are. Because like I said, had my son still been at that store, I was going to pull in right next to my son. Seriously. Not to get him in any trouble, but I kind of figured he would have his thing with him. Good thing I didn't do it because he didn't have it with him. And my son will fight you. Like, he's He don't meet a nigga that he ain't scared of. He don't care how old you are, how big you are. He don't care. He's one of them. He's a Leo. He does not care. He don't start it, but he'll finish it. Seriously. So, um, and if you hit my son, I'm gonna hit you. So we just a family that fights when necessary. We don't start none, but we do finish it. You know, yeah. So, and then my baby girl, she's even crazier. She lived around the corner from where my son was, and she keeps something. It's illegal, but she keeps something with her. So push come to shove, if I told her somebody's following me, I'm pulling up, she would have came out with that thing. She probably would have started shooting, just like pow pow pow, without even waiting on anything. You know. So I to keep my kids out of this, I'm gonna have to start traveling with my gun. And I think it's very sad that we in a state of the world today that we have to travel with our guns, and everything. But y'all just be careful. Be careful. And my main concern was that he saw what house I was pulling out of. And so what if he says, well, I know what house she was pulling out of, so I'm gonna go and I'm gonna sit down the street. You know what I'm saying? So my mind kind of went there too. Like, so I'm gonna have to be on the swivel, which I'm never not. That's how I was able to spot that guy because I'm always on the swivel. Like I'm from the projects. I'm a street baby. I'm from the projects where you have to earn your stripes. They don't just give them to you. You know what I'm saying? And my brothers, and all this and stuff. And yeah. So even though I'm a preacher and I'm not in the streets anymore and all this and stuff, you never forget your training. You never forget your upbringing. It's always in you. It's just, it's dormant. But I'm always on the swivel. Always. I take nothing for leisure. I didn't mean that. No, I watch everything. And my daddy, he was the cat's meow. I ain't gonna get into everything he was, but one thing he was a police officer. Okay. So outside of everything else he did, he was a police officer. And so I got that police training too. He made sure that I was very much equipped. So I'm just glad it didn't go down the way it could have went down, y'all, because a lot of women never come home. And I keep that in the back of my mind. I tell my daughters that and everything. I got some beautiful kids. I really do. My daughters are like, wow. Men will go, wow. I've seen them when we all together. They like, are y'all all sisters? And they're like, that's my mama. So, but I know my daughters, they head turners too. And so I'm very much keep them in prayer. And I tell them all the time, keep your head on the swivel. Make sure you looking everywhere. Make sure, you don't take nothing for granted that you're looking everywhere, So I wanted to say that and everything, y'all. Again, I have no idea where my mod is. I guess my mod done stopped modding, so okay. But anyway, just wanted to just put y'all up on game. And then let me tell y'all, women, there are a lot of men that'll tell you what you want to hear, especially if they pick up there's any insecurity in you or you have low self-esteem. They would actually tell you what you want to hear to get what they want. Okay. Nowadays, men are not after sex because they can get it at a drop of a dime. They're after your money. Okay. They're after being funded, their whole lifestyle being funded by you. And a lot of you all have retired like myself, and you have worked so hard to have what you have. Most of my stuff for the last year or so has been because of my late husband. My late husband took me off my job. He's like, you can quit your job now. I got us. So mostly everything in the last 3 years that I've accomplished or I've bought or whatever is off the back of my great late husband. And I would never let another man come in my spot. I come in my life and take what my husband used his hands, forklift driving and everything else to get for me. And I'm going to pay for another man's lifestyle. I didn't pay for the man that I had. So I ain't going to pay for none that ain't gave me nothing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It don't work like that. So I want to tell you women, be careful because you got some smooth operators. Smooth operators. You got some smooth operators out here, honey. They'll tell you what you want, what they want, what you want to hear. Let me get it right. They'll tell you what you want to hear. They'll whisper sweet nothings in your ear. They will do whatever they got to. They even might buy you lunch one day and you think, oh, they spending money on me. And then the next 15 items or the next 15 situations that calls for money, you be done gave them the money to buy your own gift. Now, how does that work? I'm going to give you money to buy my gift. Does that make sense? They'd be like, well, right now I'm a little low on funds. I would do that for you, baby, but I told you my funds is tied up right now. And when I had it, I did do for you. And you like, I know, baby. Yeah, okay, let me tell you. I just sent you a cash app of $200. Look and see. Oh, baby, I don't want you to do it here. Let me return it to you. No, no, no. Go on and do what you gotta do. Go do what you gotta do. I got you. I got you. Duh. Boo boo the fool. Yep, and these men will study you. Okay, hey, K Fit, what you said, and let me warn you guys about this too. I know we want to call all of our black sisters sisters. That's my sister. Some of these women are insecure in their own life, but they attack you because you're not insecure. I had to deal with that. I really did have to deal with that. I would get attacked because I knew who I was, but I was humble about it. But other people, especially when it came to dudes, they would kind of hint that they liked me, and it would be somebody in the circle who liked the person, but the person liked me, and the girl would try to come after me like with these jokes that wasn't funny, calling herself giving me a compliment when it's really an insult, and all this and stuff. And for a while, to keep the peace, and keep the circle strong, I let that slide. Okay. I let it slide until that one day I got tired of letting her insult slide, and I had to come back. And because I don't never be that person, they think you not that person. Baby, you have no idea who you messing with. You have Just because I don't say anything don't mean I don't have it to say. I just ignore your ignorance, okay? But don't push me. Don't push me. And I always tell people, don't hunt what you can't kill. Okay? So don't come over here trying it. And because I don't say anything them last 10 times, you think that this is going to be the 11th time that I ain't going to say nothing. And you end up walking back with your head held in your hand because I done cut your head off. Quit playing with me. I'm very much an adult. I'm very much a mature, accomplished woman. And I do love God. I am a preacher. I am a prophet. I do love God. I do. But don't get that twisted with the street me. Because, see, the street me has no boundaries. Anywho, all skin folks ain't kin folks, boo. I know you right. I know you right. So I just keep on trying to focus and let God lead my life, y'all, because like I said, without him, I'm nothing. And I try to humble myself all day, every day to make him pleased with me. Some days I fail, but I get back up and I try it again. Dust yourself up and try it again. Yeah, I try again. But pray for me. Okay. I'm never above prayer. Pray for me. But anyway, I wanted to warn my sisters about watching out for, things that, um, yeah, things that ain't right. Cause it's some crazy people in the world, y'all. It's some really, really weird, crazy people in the world. But anyway, come back tomorrow. Y'all don't want to miss this. I'm teaching on Canaan, I'm sorry. Y'all do not want to miss when I'm teaching on Canaan. This is going to help you in your real life. Trust me. It's a biblical teaching with a today's situation. Okay. Seriously, I'm gonna teach y'all why some things is happening the way that it's happening, and it came from back in that day that is still filtering down to this day, and what we can possibly do in our individual lives to change it, stand on it, and reach our next level. Okay, so y'all don't want to forget that. And please tell people about my little bitty channel, y'all. We trying to grow over here. We getting it out of the mud. We trying to over here. Okay, but I love you guys. And remember, I always tell y'all, no matter what the test, always do your best. And this has been your girl, Creole Butterfly Smooches.